Let's be real. Every single business runs on documents. We're talking invoices, contracts, purchase orders, reports, you name it. They're the absolute lifeblood of any organization. But what if those documents could do more than just sit there? What if they could actually start doing the work for you? Well, that's the huge leap we're going to explore today. How we go from just static information to fully automated decisions. Just take a second and think about your own day. How much of it is spent just hunting down information? Or worse, retyping data from one screen to another? You're just trying to make sense of this mountain of PDFs and emails. It's a feeling we all know, right? That feeling that we're basically servants to our own paperwork instead of the other way around. And look, this isn't just some minor annoyance. It is a massive, massive drain on resources. We're talking thousands of employee hours lost every single year to this repetitive, mind-numbing manual data entry. That is precious time, that is money, that is brain power that could be fueling growth, but instead, it's just getting buried under a pile of paperwork. So the big question is, how do you get that time back? Well, the answer lies in a whole new approach, and it's built on a really simple but powerful idea. Let the machines do the reading, the reasoning, and the executing. And today, we're going to break down a solution that does exactly that. It's called PixelAI. Now, let's be super clear here. This isn't just another tool that scans text. No, PixelAI is designed to be more like a digital team member. It doesn't just see the words on a page, it actually understands the content and the context of your documents. And then, this is the key part, it acts on that understanding. So what does that actually look like in practice? Okay, so it all starts with the foundation, right? How do you get that valuable data out of your documents and then start to interact with it in a completely new way? Let's dive into the core engines that make all of this possible. All right, so here's a site that's probably way too familiar. A standard invoice, this one happens to be from Google. Now, it is packed with critical data, dates, amounts, line items, but all of it is locked away in what we call an unstructured format. To make any use of it, someone usually has to sit there and manually type everything into another system. And here is the first transformation. The document gets uploaded, and almost instantly, the system has read it, understood it, and pulled out all the key data. That entire manual entry step, it's just gone. The whole thing is done in seconds. So how in the world does it do that so fast? Well, it's not just grabbing random text. The AI is smart enough to perform automated extraction for all the key fields, like invoice numbers and totals. It can actually recognize individual line items, even in complex tables. It can even map supplier and customer names to the records you already have. And the end result? All that messy data is now structured, usable, and ready to be sent to your ERP or accounting software with a single click. But just pulling out fields? That's really only scratching the surface. What if you need something more specific? This brings us to a whole new level of interaction, the ability to actually talk to your documents. So instead of just pulling predefined data, you can now have a conversation. Look at this. A user just asks in plain English, "Can you put the order in JSON format?" And the AI doesn't just spit back a text answer. No, it perfectly formats all that data from the document into clean, ready-to-use JSON. I mean, for any developer listening, you know how much time this saves. It completely eliminates potential errors. It is a true game changer for technical workflows. Okay, this is all powerful, amazing stuff, but it immediately brings up the big, flashing red light question for any business. What about data security, right? Especially when you're dealing with sensitive contracts and financial documents. And the solution for that is this: a physical piece of hardware called the black box. You can think of it like a private on-premise vault for all your documents. It's a dedicated little PC that's designed to make sure your most sensitive information never, ever has to touch the public cloud. So what does this actually get you? Well, first off, everything runs safely behind your own firewall. You get instant search even if your internet goes down. You can set up really specific access controls for different users. And most important of all, zero data leakage. Your documents stay your documents, period. So this table really breaks down the 3 ways you can set this up. You can go pure cloud, which is great for speed and convenience. For maximum Fort Knox level security, you have the private black box, which keeps everything totally isolated on premise, though you do lose the cloud AI extraction. Or there's the hybrid approach, which really gives you the best of both worlds. Your documents are stored securely right there with you, but you can tap into the power of the cloud AI for extraction when you need it. It's all about finding the right balance of power and privacy for your business. So we've covered how AI can read your documents, and we've covered how to keep them secure. But the most exciting part is what comes next: execution. This is where the AI stops being just a tool and becomes an autonomous agent that can actually get work done. The big idea here is something called digital labor. This is a layer of software that doesn't just show you information, it completes the task for you. For example, it could read an invoice, see that it's from a key supplier and it's under, say, $500, and then automatically schedule the payment in your accounting system all by itself. And you know what the best part is? You don't need to be some coding genius to build these automations. You just connect these different action blocks, like check an email, compose a message, or send an alert, and then you use simple natural language to tell it the rules that connect them all together. Theory is one thing, but let's see a real example. We're going to trace a really simple but super common business need, getting notified the second a specific type of email arrives. And here it is, that workflow in action. An email lands in a normal Gmail inbox, and almost instantly, the autonomous agent has picked it up, processed what it says, and sent a perfectly formatted alert right to the Teams chat. Just think about that for a second. No one had to check the inbox. No one had to forward that message. The system handled it from end to end. That is true automation. And that's really the key takeaway here, the speed and the accessibility. Building a powerful, multi-app automation like the one we just saw is no longer some month-long IT project. With this kind of approach, it can literally be done in just a few minutes. And this all brings us to the final, really powerful idea. This technology completely transforms documents from just these passive records into active working participants in your business. So it leaves us with one question. If your most important documents could suddenly take action, what would you automate first?